Good morning, everybody. It's John from Veganism KILLS. It's 9:04 a.m., Friday, June 11th. Today, I'd like to go over something that I find disturbing, in which I don't know how vegans could actually have an excuse, but vegans are always saying when a child dies from veganism, it's anecdotal. And the cases that I'm about to talk about that they say anecdotal. Anecdotal evidence did not send these parents to jail, in one case for life. Right? And out of respect and the adoration of children, which I have children myself, I have a son and a daughter, and out of respect for these poor souls that were died because their parents believed this utter nonsense. I keep hearing stories about studies says it's all safe, but yet the body count is 180 degrees contrary to these vegan nonsense studies, which are epidemiology, they're not science. Now, we're going to go through, unfortunately, this one's out of Georgia. The young boy's name was Crown Shakur. He was 6 weeks old. His parents ignored the doctor telling him that the baby was not doing well on veganism. They need to take him off. They live right across the street from a hospital, as I understand. And Crown died out of Atlanta, Georgia, and his parents got life. They tried to appeal it. During the appeal process, the life sentence was still enforced. So there you got two vegan parents who swear that veganism was the best thing on earth. It killed their child, and they're in jail for life. That's not anecdotal. That's a trial. You could see with the trial transcript. There was evidence produced, the autopsy. That's it. I don't want to hear it, vegans. Cut the nonsense out. Then you got baby O'Leary at Cape Coral, Florida, 18 months old. I think that happened maybe 2017 or 2019, I can't remember. Well, that child died, and those parents are going to jail for a long time. In my neighborhood, Kamari Garrigo, in Queens, New York, 7 months old. His mother held the same beliefs. Her statement is the child was put on the vegan diet because she was small and she didn't want to carry around a fat ass child. Those are her words exactly. She was interviewed, but they tried to interview her. They said, "What happened to your child?" And she pointed at the container where the child's ashes was. Baby Lucas out of Belgium, 7 months old. He said, these are recent. These are all from like 2017 to current. Okay. You also have Baby Lee. Oh God, I'm gonna slaughter this name. Malogu. He was a vegan child that was breastfed when his mother knew full well, being a vegan, her breast milk didn't contain the correct nutrients to keep the kid alive. Died at 11 months old. She's doing 5 years in prison in France because of anecdotal evidence, vegans. There was a 12-year-old in Glasgow, Scotland, Glasgow, a female, 12-year-old girl, and she was vegan, forced by her parents, and the doctor in Scotland said she had the bone development of an 80-year-old woman. Melbourne, Australia, a 20-month-year-old was taken by CPS. They saved her life. She's in foster care, and she's doing well. Those parents should be in jail, but they got like 5 months probation. There was another one in, I believe, in Australia too, where the child was so malnourished that they got cerebral palsy. So there goes another case. Thank you, vegans. In Titusville, Florida, a 5-month-old was rescued from vegan parents. I call baby Busky because the father's last name is Busky. Uh, they're going to jail. There was a 13-year-old boy, last name Miller, in Crawford County, Ohio. This is a 13-year-old boy who ran away from home because his parents were forcing him on the vegan diet. He ran away, and the first thing he was looking for was food. A 13-year-old boy, when he was rescued, weighed 65 pounds. My daughter is 10 years old and weighs 99 pounds, and she's no way or form obese. In Sweden, the parents were jailed. That almost starved to death. I think it was Gothenburg. Yeah, it was Gothenburg, Sweden. Parent was jailed for almost starving their 18-month-old to death. Canada, there was a court case up there where the vegan parents, being a more liberal country, they were put on community service and some kind of parole for killing their child on the vegan diet. There's lots more that I missed here, people, but I'm doing the ones that I could find real easy. In Milan, Italy, there was a 14-month-old child that weighed around the weight of an average 3-month-old. And the problem I find out with this is that it wasn't the parents that brought the child into the hospital, it was the grandparents. It looks like they had a modicum of intelligence to realize there was something wrong with this baby, and they brought the baby in. Hopefully the parents go to jail, because to tell you the truth, it's the only way to keep these children alive. There has to be some kind of punishment. Now that's about a dozen cases I just gave you off the top of my head. And there's plenty more. And you got to realize some of these couples that I spoke about, they had more than one child. Like the Australian couple, though one child went to the hospital, the other four was taken in custody by CPS. So if these people telling you that veganism is healthy for all stages of life, here we are, quoting stuff from first world countries which have all the supplements and within hand's reach. You can go right down to the supplement store. You got doctors everywhere. The healthcare is pretty good. The nutritionists are all over the place. You could probably find, like I live in New York City, you could probably open up the phone book on the nutritionist and just throw a dart and you'll hit a pretty decent one. But yet these people are so brainwashed in their cult-like activity that they won't acknowledge these deaths. And I only given you from 217 to current. The deaths have been recorded since 1972. And yet they still think the diet's okay. If one child dies from veganism, that means veganism does not work. In my neighborhood, my county, one death to veganism, 2 counties over in the Bronx, another death by veganism. I didn't mention that one yet, but that'd be 13 since 2017. And what do I hear? The studies. Can I ask you one thing, vegans? With the amount of supplementation this diet needs, how are you going to get those supplements inside an infant that's on milk or formula? It's impossible. And don't saying you're going to breastfeed the baby with your malnourished titties. Okay? That doesn't work already. We had a baby die in France because of that, and the baby's parents now doing 5 years in jail. Against all medical advice, these vegans are telling people, F you, I know what we're doing, Dr. Greger's right, and you are wrong. Now she's going to spend 5 years in jail. Can she figure out now that Dr. Greger was wrong? So a moment of silence for these poor kids. God rest their souls. And let's try to stop this, people. Let's try to bring these people back into the light, because veganism put these kids in a dark hole. Everybody, on that note, I'm out of here.